fever, it's really an indictment on basically the Chinese model that it's they really it's basically the Wild West over there, even though it's the Middle Kingdom, and they just have these problems all the time. But this is not what I want to talk about. We all know about this one, okay? It's an embarrassment. Pork prices are going to go higher, but here's the one where Trump truly has a trump card. They have a different problem showing up now. You don't get any of this stuff in our news. You got to go search the world for this stuff. A new crop-destroying pest enters China amid a devastating swine fever epidemic. They don't have it's basically a caterpillar that from a moth, and it happens to eat the crops that we eat too. They have no natural predator, and this thing is going to devastate the country's grain crops. It's starting in the south. It's moving north. Once it gets to the north, and if they get a failed harvest on top of this, the Chinese are going to be begging for our food, and if they get too vindictive, you know how vindictive Trump is. This could really escalate into something really nasty. I'm talking like famine kind of stuff. So just keep an eye on this. And you guys know I've been showing you guys the price of corn and wheat here has let me just go show you. It's finally starting to move, and we just might get these spikes out of the blue. Normally right now corn and wheat start coming off their early spring highs, and they start falling into the summer. Let me go pull a daily up here. It's been hard to trade because with the rollover in the contracts, it just makes it hard to make money on these ETFs. And God knows I've tried, and so now we have this to hit down. We get this spike, and if I take it out to a weekly, in fact, I'll go even monthly, just to show you what could be in store here, because this isn't the first time we've had these situations. Okay. Let's go right here. Here's the corn price. Okay, it's $15 now. This is 2011 when we had our last Arab Spring. I don't know if you remember that. We had issues with the corn crop. Okay, 3x the price. The WETAT. Here's the wheat. Okay, same with wheat. And this is what we're looking at. We're looking for a revisit here. So this is 5x times. Now, the reason why these ETFs start working so well is that once the near-term price starts to move higher, it screws up the futures markets, and then these ETFs they have to be they become buyers versus sellers in the roll, just like the old XIV was with the VIX, the constant rolling down. Well, that's what's happening with these crops, these ETFs with these crops. When that changes, that's where you get these big spikes. So just keep an eye on these ETFs. Is wheat's doing decent right now. Corn's in trouble. And in France and the U.S. they can't get it into the ground. It's just too wet, and it's going to really start to show itself. Once we get past May, they're going to do another assessment of how much corn's in the ground, and then it gets to be too late to put it in. They'll have to transfer to like soybeans or to barley or something else that can grow and be harvested by the end of September. And then we have to hope that we don't get early falls with these late springs, and then get a double whammy. Just keep an eye on it, because once this happens, the Federal Reserves around the world are screwed, because you can't necessarily print this stuff, and it's going to cause inflation on the primary end, and if they're trying to maintain their currencies and they have to import food, big trouble. And China is in big trouble. They have to import energy and food, and they've left themselves with only really one source of food that they haven't tapped into. They're having a big fight with us over it, so keep an eye out for it. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Keep an eye on this. This is the story that's going to come out of left field. Bye-bye.